Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Just to let you know, we will start in around 2 minutes. So I'll be back with you in 2 minutes. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another session of Office Hours. Hello to everyone. This is the agenda that you can see on your screens. But first, I will start with if any of you is comfortable with switching their own cameras, then that will be greatly appreciated. No pressure though, but if you're happy to, then it will be great. The first thing that I want to tell you is that we have a new feature coming, and it is actually a very exciting feature. It will allow you to transform any 2D image into 3D model in just seconds. So I will get into that on our next session, so next week. So be sure that you're here with us if you want to learn more about that feature. And it will also be a Q&A session. So get your questions ready for another week, and I will be here to answer them for you. So we will just go through your questions, and yeah, so we'll have a Q&A, and on top of that, I will introduce you to the new feature. So for today's agenda, we have the walkthroughs. So I will jump into one of the finished projects, and I will guide you step by step through our walkthroughs. And I will show you how to set your camera so you have a really smooth walkthrough, how you can set your lighting, etc. So if you have any questions, then as always, ask away. I will check the chat from time to time, and we'll try to answer the questions. So just let me pop up into one of the projects. I'll just quickly see. Okay, so you should be able to see it. So here we have a bungalow interior that is finished. And to get a walkthrough, we first have to click on Take a Render. And from here, we can click on Create Walkthrough. So we don't do any settings in our rendering settings. We just go straight away to create a walkthrough. So when you click Create Walkthrough, we have low density, high density, and flexible density, which is new feature. Now, when it comes to credits info with the low density, it usually is 1 credit per camera, but there's only a minimum of number of cameras that you can use. So you won't be able to add more if you need to. And it will be very standard walkthrough experience. So you won't be able to see all the details. With a high density, you can choose as many cameras as you want. And that basically works out as a 2 credits per camera, more or less. And then we have the flexible density. So you can just begin with a 1 camera, which is actually very good if you're creating walkthroughs for single spaces. Because sometimes it's the software will give you loads of cameras that you actually don't need. So if you're creating a walkthrough for a single space, I think it will be better to go with the flexible density and add as many cameras on the go as you want, and then you will have a notification how many credits you will need to generate the walkthrough. So I will go with the high density just to show you how you can remove the cameras if you have too many of them. And but each density will work the same as it comes to settings and all. So let's go with the high density and we just click on proceed. And now, as you can see, there is loads of cameras here. So basically, we need 2 cameras for a smaller space, 4 cameras for a larger space. Each camera has a 360 point view. You could get away with 1 camera, for example, for a laundry. We can, let's say, stick with one, or for a pantry, for a bathroom, if you have like a small bathroom. So each camera, if I can show you, has a 360 point view. So that's why you don't need as many cameras in one spot. So first, I will start removing cameras that I actually don't need. And I will show you how to move the cameras around and then how to add more cameras if you need them. So to remove the cameras, first, maybe I will just move them around. So I will just make sure that I have the cameras that I want. So first camera will be on my entrance. Then I can place another one. So we just simply click on the camera. It will highlight in orange. And then you can move it with your mouse or your cursor. So we will leave, let's say, one here, and we should be enough for the hallway. Now to remove the cameras, we click on the camera, we click on a delete key on your keyboard and just simply, okay, this one we cannot. Some of them you won't be able to remove because they are needed for like a seamless flow. So you might try just to remove a different one and then move this one to the spot that you want. So we simply click on, okay, we need this one as well. I will try if we can delete this one. Yes, okay. So I think that for this hallway, the software says to us to have 3 cameras. So we will go with 3 cameras. So we have 1, 2, and then we have a third one in the middle. Now for this space, it's an open space with a kitchen and living room area. Then we can have one maybe camera in front of the island And like when we are rotated, we'll see the kitchen and then we will see the living room. Then we can have a one camera here that will be facing into our hallway as well. And then we can have one camera maybe in the corner here. So yeah, so you can just work around and see which cameras you want, and then just simply delete the other ones. Just bear in mind that they do have the 360 point view, so we don't need as many cameras. That's why wherever you will click on the high density, don't be pulled off by the number of credits that you require, because this is only based on the amount of the cameras that will show in the high quality density. So yes, but like, obviously you will delete some, so just don't take that number of credits required to consideration. Now I will move this one here. And I don't know if okay, I have one in the laundry, and that's a starting point, but we will move the starting point to a different room. And of course, I will show you how to do that as well. Okay, so we have like two cameras here, two cameras here, and one here. I might just... Okay, let's say something like that. Now for my office, I need two cameras, so I can point one this and the other one will be here. For the bedroom, I think one camera should be enough. Okay, I cannot delete this one. We'll see if I can delete this one. Yeah, so I'll just move this one here and we'll just leave it in the middle. And then in the bathroom, I can leave my two cameras to start with, and we should be fine. Now, when it comes to setting the cameras where they are facing when you will play out the walkthrough. So whenever we will click on the camera, then you can see where the camera is facing. And even though you will move it here and it will rotate and you will leave it like that, then there'll be no changes. So what you have to do when you will choose the camera, click here on this little icon, and that will take you to the bigger screen. Now we are setting the first frame. So now, for example, when we're entering, I want to see straight up, and now I click on set first frame and I click on done. So I'm making sure that this camera will be like this. This will be the first frame that I will see when I will click on this camera. Then next camera, you can click on them and you can choose which camera you want to work first. This one we can do as well, just like this one. Set the first frame, done. Now for the third one, I think I would rather to rotate a bit, maybe this, just facing it this way. And now set the first frame and again, done. Now let's go here to the office. The first one will be facing this way. And we will just do it with all the cameras. Now our next camera, it can be facing, let's say this way, set the first frame and click on done. Now we have the bathroom one. So let's say we can do with this frame and again click on done. And now with the other one, it can be facing this way. Set first frame and click on done. Now, when we have all the cameras set, we can click again and switch to 2D mode from here. And now we can go to the settings. And before we go to the settings, I will show you how to add cameras. So if you removed some cameras by mistake, or you're thinking that it will be better to add another one in a space, then in the top center of your space, of your screen, sorry, you can click on Add Cameras, and then you simply drop it anywhere that you want it. So now we will go to settings. First, I will go to camera settings, and then I will go to lighting. Lighting settings looks exactly the same as on our renders. So first, I will go to camera setting, and I will go with set starting point. So for now, we have the starting point set in a laundry. That was just set as a default, but of course we can change it. So this will be our starting point. And now we will just choose that camera. As you can see, when I selected it here, it's already ticked on the left side. So now I will just click on done, and this will be our starting point. Now we can set the camera order. By setting camera order, we can, whenever we will generate the walkthrough and we will get the link for the walkthrough, then it will play in whatever we will set the order. So if we have, let's say, 10 cameras, we can set the order from 1 to 10, and that's the way the video will play. So for example, I have my first camera, so that will be my first view. So again, if you don't know which one, then you can just simply click on it, and now we drag it at the front. Now this will be my second camera, so you just click on it and we drag it as a second. This will be my third camera. So again, I just drag it here. Now we will go back to the hallway. So this will be our fourth camera. Then we can go to the master bedroom. So this will be our next camera. Now we can go out and go to the hallway again. So that's another one. And now we can go to the bathroom. Here, another bathroom. Here, now this one. Okay, we already have it here. Now let's say the laundry. So it will be here. And now we will go to our living room. So this one will be here. Then we can just set the order. Here. Then we have this one here. Then we have this one here, and this one will be our last one. So now we have the order set, and now we will go to lighting settings. So with the lightings, again, the same as for your renders. So you can choose the time of day, either day, evening, or night. And for all of them, we have different presets and different environments. I usually stick with day, and I'll go either with natural daylight or warm summers that will give you a bit of warmer hues, or a fresh one. But we will stick with the natural daylight. And now we will choose our environment. So we can actually go with the path in the forest. And now if I want to see my environment, I can actually go to 3D, go to environment, and now I can rotate it and I see what I'm doing. So it's better to switch from 2D to larger screen, and then you're able to choose everything accordingly, and you just see it better. Now for the product lighting, we are able to choose all the lights. So you can go room by room. And you can choose all your lights. So if you have a spotlight or ceiling lights, now we can go, let's say, to another room. So we'll switch back here, click here, now click on any of the cameras in the room. And now go back to 3D and start adding more. If you can't add, then just go out of the product lighting, go to product lighting again, and now add the rest of your lights.
Magda,
Lighting.
would you keep all the
Yes.
lights on if it's daytime?
Sorry.
Would you say keep all the lighting on if it's daytime?
It all depends if you want to show them on. So like, if you don't need to show them on, like, that they're illuminating lights, then you don't have to select them. So like, it's up to you. It's just, I just wanted to show you that you can go room by room and select each and then select if you want them to be on or if you want them to be off. But of course, when it's a daylight, you don't have to. Sometimes it just helps just to bring like, just a bit of more light into the interior, but that's totally up to you. So you can go literally room by room and you can add um, all the lights. Now we will just go for here and we will just set the sun. So again, we can set some shadows if we want to. And now when we have everything ready, we can just click out of it, go here again. And now you can go with the preview if you want to. If not, then you can simply click on generate. Your credits won't be taken just yet. So we click on generate when we have everything ready. And now we have the information of how many credits is required. So I have 15 cameras and I need 30 credits to generate my walkthrough. So if I want to do it, then I click on submit and that is where when your credits are being taken from your account and the walkthrough is being generated. Now I won't be generating this one because I already have one done. So we will just go out of this one and I will show you how the end result looks like. So we'll just go back. Also, when you will start working on your walkthrough and you won't finish it by any means, then you can just simply go back to it. So if you click on create a walkthrough, then it will ask you to create new or edit the one that you've been working on. So now just let me go back and I will go to view renders. And here I have okay, because this is the cloned one. So let me open the original one because that just will be way faster. And I will show you how the finished walkthrough looks like. That's actually a great option, like, if the renders are not enough for your clients, and especially when you're working on like a full floor plan, then walkthrough might be a really nice idea because you can really walk them through the whole, all like each rooms, the full floor plan, and they can see the colors, the textures, etc. So it is nice and it's not very time consuming if you like, when what you're doing, like each step, as you could see, it's not like, very time consuming. I was here obviously slower because I was explaining it, sorry, everything. But when you know what to do, we just go click your cameras, do the settings, and you're basically ready to go. So here, let me see which one is done. Okay, so this one is done here. When it will be done, you will have like an image of it and you will have an option to edit it, to share it, or to delete it. So I'll just simply click on it. And when your walkthrough is ready, when you click on it, then it will open in a new tab in a Neo Magic Door. So now we have to wait until it will load to 100%. So you can simply share this link with your customers and they can open it at their end. So now, as you can see, we have the walkthrough. There are two ways of how you can interact with the walkthrough. So you can either click on play, and now it will play in the order that I set for my cameras, and it will always rotate all the way around. Like it won't rotate to the ceiling, so it will only rotate like just around like a 360. But if you want to, you can, for example, click on stop and you can rotate it yourself. So with whichever way your clients prefer, they can either move it by themselves and just choose the cameras where they want to jump in and rotate it, or just simply start with the first camera, click on play, and then it will play from first camera to your last camera, and they don't have to do anything. As you can see here, I have the lights because like when you will choose the forest environment, there's like loads of trees and sometimes it might look a bit dark inside. So when I choose the forest, I tend to switch my lights on and take the interior lighting to medium or even high intensity. So yes. Yeah, so it will just play from one camera to the last camera like a video. And that's all that you need. You can take a screenshot of each of the frames. So for example, if you want to do like a slideshow out of your walkthrough, then you can simply rotate your camera to any point that you like and simply take a screenshot of it and create like slide show as well. So now, do we have any questions about the walkthroughs? Because I know that maybe some of the features you aren't allowed to, you aren't aware of, like for example, setting the angle of the cameras or like setting all the lights, the same on the renders. But if you have any more questions, then I'm happy to answer them all now. Do we have any questions? You can get a preview before you sorry. I think can everyone hear me? Because I think I had a small disruption in my internet connection because all my windows. Okay, I think I'm here. Back again. Let me go back to the project again. And if you have any questions, just drop them or just turn on your mic and you can answer. You can just ask as well.
I I have a bit of a silly question. Is there any way that you can animate that video, like maybe exporting it into a different software? Because as far as I know, Foyr can't animate anything.
Yeah, well, the what I would do, when you will play it, you can switch on your screen recording and you can simply record it and then you have like a video of it if you want to add any more animations. So that would be, something if I would like to do it, then that's the way I would do it. And then you can drop it into any others, like a video editing software, like a CapCut or any other, and you
Mm.
can, add some animations. So I would just
Is there? Is there screen recording on the Foyr, or are you talking about screen
No,
recording
from my laptop, for
no?
example, if I will,
Okay.
yes, go to Walkthrough Play it and just like, screen record it. Because, that's a link that is generated. So, like, you're not able to download it as a video form. Because, like, you will
Yes.
have a link to share. Yes, to share. So if you want to, like, add anything else, then I would just like, use the screen record and then edit it into like, any of your liking.
Okay. Then just the last question, that rotating, you said that it automatically rotates, but you can't set a time on it to stop at a certain stage. It has to complete
No,
the rotation.
you have play and stop. So you can stop it at any point.
Oh, but you
Just let me
can't record it
repeat
like
that.
that when you export it.
Sorry.
You, when you have the option to share, you can't program it to stop at a certain state and then share to make
No.
it easy for the client. Okay.
No, they will have the same screen as we have now. So you will have the play and you will have the pause. So like, so you can
Okay.
explain to them that like, that at any point they can stop the play, like they can pause it and then they can unpause it. And also they will have this screen here. So it will look identical as we have it here now. And they can jump to any other cameras, for example, and then again, either play and pause, or they can just move themselves. So it
Okay.
just
Awesome.
depends, like,
Thank you.
which, yes, if they want to be more interactive with it, or if they can just, want to play it and just let it play. But at any point, they can play or just simply pause it.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. We have some questions here. So, Harleen, what are the ideal camera settings for a smooth walkthrough? When it comes to camera settings, I think it's just your frames. So whatever we like, jumping from one camera to the other camera, it just like, it looks nice and smooth. And the same with the camera order. If, for example, like, you will do your first camera in the hallway and then your second camera in a room that is on the other way, then like, it will be all messy. But for a smooth walkthrough, just try to set your camera order. Yeah, like you actually would be walking when you will be taking a client into, I don't know, a show house and like, guiding him through the rooms. So that would be my advice. Rosa, is there a way to add people to the render or pets for scale? Yes. So when you're in here in 2D or 3D, when you go to catalog, then in staging, we have people and pets. So here, as you can see, we have people and pets. So we have women, men, pets, kids, and you can simply drop them in any room and they will be visible on the render and on the walkthrough as well. Harleen, any tips for showing off tight spaces or awkward layouts? I think just the placing of the camera. So if you have a small space, then try to either set it in the middle. So whatever you're rotating, like, you're just not hitting anything else, or in one corner of a room where like, you will rotate it. Then of course, like you will see two walls, but then the space will look bigger. And when it goes to awkward spaces, then I don't know. I think it's just all depends when you will place your cameras. And like you have your window on the side. So if I will go again to the walkthroughs, like we have this window on the side so you can see whichever space is small or awkward, you can see how it will look when the camera is on. So always choose like, always look at this window on your right hand side for reference, or simply switch between 3D and 2D. So like you can be more insight and like, see it in more detail. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, when it comes to playing the walkthrough, sometimes, like, for some it might seem a bit too fast. That's why at any point you have the pause button, like, if it, especially if it's like a large space like this one here, it's not a huge space, it's just like, regular bungalow. But if you will have like a really large downstairs with like, maybe any game rooms or whatever, then, like, sometimes it might just be too much. That's why you always have the pause button at the bottom of your screen, and either you or your clients can just pause it at any time, and let's say that, like, jump into any other camera. Harleen, can lighting be optimized for better walkthrough visuals? Yes, so that works the same as it works on your renders, as I mentioned. So if we will go to lighting settings, and product lighting, so again, like, you can choose your interior lights, and then you can choose your overall product lighting. So it's always set on low, but I use either medium or high. And so, like, when you already did renders to the space that you will be creating walkthrough for, then, like, you will know which settings were the best to get the most out of the space in relation to your lighting. So these are the settings that I would go for the walkthrough. If you didn't, then we always have the preview, but try to stick with medium or even high over product lighting, because that's the intensity of the light. And with low, it all depends on what environment you choose as well. But usually the low, it is a bit too low. So, like, if you have loads of natural light, and for example, for your environment, you will choose let's say the Malibu overlook, or the Mondelo beach, where, like, or the tropical beach where you have, like, all the blue skies, then you will be fine with the medium. And like, you don't even have to turn on any interior lights. I sometimes like to turn them on, so they're like, they're a bit more visible, and client can visualize how, like, how the light will reflect in the spaces. So that's why I sometimes, even for a daylight, am trying to switch on the lights. You can try to do like evening one, and, like, turn on the lights, choose a different environment, and then, like, they will be more visible. I think that's either up to you or your client needs. So yes, that's, like, that's everything. I think that's all, like, the personal references. But yes, but I will set it on medium or even on high, depending on, like, the amount of natural light that is coming into the interior. Any other questions? If you will forget to ask something, then remember that we will have the Q&A for next week. So any questions that maybe will come to mind at the end of the session, or like after we end the session, because that might happen, you can leave them for next week and we can go through them. Thank you, Harleen. You're very, very welcome. So, like, yeah, so there's no panic. And if something will come to mind, then we can leave them for next. You're welcome, Rosa. You're always very welcome. I'm trying to answer the questions to my best knowledge. So thank you, guys. Thanks for being here again. And we'll see you in a week time for our Q&A, and I will tell you all about our new exciting feature. Thanks so much, guys.